Hello everyone, my name is John Michael Bushman and welcome back to Master Duel. Feels good to be back after my laptop was out of commission for nearly 2 weeks, and it feels different to not be playing Yu-Gi-Oh on Master Duel. I have been playing in person quite a lot more, thanks to my laptop being out of commission. Played a lot of Vanguard, a lot of Magic the Gathering in person, which again, it's why I got a job at a hobby store in the first place. But yeah, in the interim, I sadly missed the last week of grinding for the month of February, so that one is a little sad, but thankfully I was in a decent rank so that I won't de-rank too much, but we're back in gold, sadly. So there's that. I'll have to reclimb again, but with the deck that I'm still currently rocking, it will not be a problem. But again, in the interim, we have this archetype right here, the Mystical Space Typhoon archetype. I still cannot believe that they made an entire archetype around a really old-ass card from 2003. But here we are, and Mystical Space Typhoon now has an entire archetype built around it, and you can finally say the word MST to negate. So there is that. But sadly, I don't exactly have the dust to craft all of the URs that this deck has, and I have been actually debating whether or not I will craft Simorg just for this deck in particular. But all of the decks that I've seen, they don't really seem to really need the extra decks, so I can actually just safely get rid of Simorg and just add another copy of Win here, because the low-level Radiant Typhoon monsters are so important to the deck that they have something like this, the Noble Knight Shieldbearer. For some reason, can search a Wind Beast monster. I don't quite know why Noble Knights have a Wind Beast in their archetype, but here we are, and thankfully, you can just banish him from your hand, so that is fine. And, you know, he's even like a decent normal summon as well, so... But, yeah, Fortune Tune, hell yeah, you can banish this and then draw one card. So there's that. We'll get to that when I can craft it. But for now, we're going to get back with the deck that I'm very familiar with, but sadly has been nerfed a little because... well, the ban list that was also released during the time that I was out of commission for my laptop was out of commission was Habakiri, and he is now semi-limited too. And thankfully, I was able to get back just in time for all of the ban list stuff, and I can, you know, regain some lost UR dust. So there is that. Yeah, we're gonna hop back into it, and we'll see if my opponents still surrender to activate Habakiri from hand. I lost the die roll, but my opponent made me go first, so that is automatically really scary in my book. Okay, losing one Habakiri isn't exactly the biggest loss in the world, because that just means I can use Yummy more often, so there's that. But we started with the pseudo brick Saji, so let's see if we can bait out that Ash. Sure, we will activate that effect. We will try to summon Murakumo from hand, and opponent allows it, so that is already really scary. So we'll use Mitsurugi Ritual here. We'll get we'll actually tribute off the Murakumo. No, wait, no. Ritual summon from deck. I forgot. I nearly forgot how to do this. Okay, so Murakumo does his thing. There we go. We get Habakiri down. There we go. And then, Murakumo effect. We'll get one of the other ritual spells, but we're going to see if my opponent even allows this. They're thinking about it, so... there is that. Then we get Mitsurugi Mirror, and because Habakiri was special summoned properly, we're going to tribute him off and get Murakumo. But it does seem that my opponent has some form of interaction, so we'll find out soon enough what it is once we get to it. Okay, so we get Murakumo down, then Habakiri effect. Let's see what they do about this. They can try to use a negation here, but Murakumo has a negate, so we'll get prayers. We'll set that when it comes down to it. And yes, I would like to summon Habakiri. And there we go. And then we'll play the zombie vampire, which should already ring some alarm bells to my opponent. And I'm not putting him in the extra monster zone simply because I can put Saji, or rather, I can convert Saji into an Almirage. What the hell is he using? Miradora. This is a generic monster, but I'm not quite sure what they're on. This is a level 7, so there's that. Is special summon, target a face up. Monster to special summon. Neither player can activate it while this is face up on the field. Oh no! Sure. That is totally fine in my book. We have a Croaky already, so that is something. It can't activate, right? Special summon this. Wait, did he actually target it? No, he only special summoned it. That's interesting. I don't think he used the negation here. So okay then. Zombie Vampire will detach the Murakumo. Do you have something for this? Question mark. Opponent. You can do something. God, it feels so good to be back. Oh my god. The forced vacation from making content. Granted, I don't exactly have too high of a hope for my YouTube career because at the current moment I only have like 60 subscribers. But what the fuck is this guy on? What the hell? This is a level 1, so we can actually use it. So, excuse me for a second while I borrow your ghost girl. Again, I have no idea what my opponent's on. I guess I'll find out soon enough, question mark. But we can very safely convert Almirage here. We'll leave the level 1 there because we can. Almirage, you do your thing here. Do you have an Ibiru opponent? Because I've summoned like enough times for you to be slightly worried about the state of your being here. If you do not, I'll probably do full like yummy combo if it does indeed come to that. Hell, I can even just synchro right here, right now, because I can, but I'll summon Cookie first. I'll see how far I can overextend, because that's just the way how I roll. Sadly, you are not special summoned by the effect of a synchro monster, so I'll just leave you there, Cookie. Let's see what my opponent has for me here. He does seem to have something, but I don't know what it is yet. So, for now, we're going to use Cupsy here. Cupsy from the extra deck, not the other one. So, we'll get Cupsy. There we go. Activate his effect. We'll try to search. You can ash this. If you ash this, then I will sadly have to forever hold my peace. Okay, so we get actual Cupsy and we get Marshmallow. There we go. I'm a little rusty when it comes to the combos with this deck, but hopefully it'll be good enough. So we discard, I guess. No, I think we discard. It's safe to discard Cupsy here, or rather, no, it's safe to discard Marshmallow because you'd rather get that out of the graveyard. Okay, so after that, we'll get Shamisen. There we go. We get Sorokat. There we go. Again, opponent is still not doing anything, so this could be a very interesting thing that they could... Oh god, I forgot. I should have summoned it. Sadly I can no longer normal summon, so I screwed this combo up like royally. I definitely should have summoned Cupsy Yummy here from hand immediately. Now I don't have any access to the Link 1. But they did turn off their infinite permanences if they ever had one. Their other hand traps though are still alive, so that is something. So we'll just use prayers later. I guess we can just go into SP Little Knight and try to clear their board, but I don't think that's going to be a good idea. So, I screwed it up royally. Again, I haven't been playing for 2 weeks, so I'm already very rusty. Again, I should have summoned Cupsy Yummy there, but there we go. This is just me getting back into the groove of things, so we can chalk it up to that. Let's see what my opponent draws, because the cards that they've shown me in their deck is really weird at the moment. Heavy Zephyr, I know, is a genetic dragon that is used in certain decks, but I just don't know which ones. Okay. They're going to banish the light or dark. They're going to try to banish Murakumo, so forcing the issue here. We're gonna use Mitsurugi Prayers. No, I'm not gonna Ash. How dare you, game? Prayers will special summon the Murakumo since it was ritual summoned properly here. And that allows us to have a negate on board. There we go. And then use Murakumo's effect. Will wipe away my opponent's board because why not? He could use the Miradora. There we go. As material for something, but we don't know what it is yet. Send a card. Not gonna negate that. But I think what I'm gonna negate is whatever search effect they're gonna do. And I just realized Miradora's a level 7, and so are the Dark Magicians. So that's interesting. But definitely the most interesting card in this deck is Red Blossoms from Underroot. This is a card that you don't really normally see, which is interesting. Tribute this card, target a fusion, synchro. Okay. No, I'm not gonna allow you to do that. Yeah, that was Soul Servant. Okay, cool. I wasn't really paying attention, but it showed that Ash Blossom could negate it. So yeah, definitely not gonna allow you to get into Dark Magic Circle. Again, I already screwed up this combo enough, so let's see if they can get anywhere with this. Murakumo is pretty big, and so is Zombie Vampire. Now that I think about it, I can actually just get by with just these two on board, and then summon a Herald of the Arclight, and that will be my negation on top of Murakumo. So there is that. Oh wait, no, is the new Dark Magician's stuff already here? Oh my god, it is! Dark Magician of Destruction. Hello! I have not read this card, and I don't think I should care too much, but Dark Magician is now a tier 1 deck in the OCG, so there is that. This is a search, either Dark Magician or a card that mentions it. Must be added with Fusion Summon, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. If they're struggling this much, then I'm gonna negate it. I'm not gonna give you a search, or rather, you can search, but you have to discard a card from your hand. And judging from the the choices that you had earlier, it seems that your hand is nothing but hand traps or the bricks like that. I can't believe that you have 2 copies of DMG, or rather DM, just DM. I forgot that DMG is Dark Magician Girl, so there's that. Okay, getting Magician's Rod. I believe my opponent is not normal summoned, and I no longer have any interaction, so I'll just let you pop off there, King. And let's see how far you go. I haven't seen this like at all. I have seen it in paper once, and it was Dark Magician mixed in with the Shining Sarcophagus stuff, and it looked really good, but sadly the person that was piloting it lost in the tournament. I think he was like, if not 4th, 5th place in a group of 20, so it's something. There's power there, but I'm not quite sure if it's going to be enough to crack against like Vanquished Old Canine, which is still like a very prominent deck here in the OCG territories. So Secrets of Dark Magic, it fusion summons or ritual summons. Alright, cool. You can choose. I mean, usually you would fusion summon because Dragoon is such a cracked ass card. It's a custom card for Dark Magician if there ever was one. So there is that. Let's see what else they do here. I can't believe that Magician of Destruction is just there to be a removal spell, or rather a searcher for the archetype, but Starving Venom is an interesting choice. Okay, gain attack equal to an opponent's special summoned monster. I'm assuming it's either Murakumo or Zombie Vampire. Either or is fine, because it will allow him to basically hit over anybody. I guess getting rid of Murakumo here is always nice. Okay, it becomes the original name, sure. Now it's Murakumo. And it also gains its effects, which is interesting. But all of my priority is turned off opponent. I have no further interaction here. And the stuff that needs to get removed from my field needs to be a synchro monster. Or actually, oh wait, no, if a face-up monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect. So yeah, any monster, but it has to be by card effect, so there's that. If it's by combat, then you are pretty safe opponent. Okay, sure, yep, hitting over Murakumo, that is definitely the play. I don't know what else you're gonna do here, if you've been struggling this hard. And I believe I did use the negation at the right amount of time, so there's that. And I believe this guy retains the effects until end of turn, if I recall. And replace it. Yeah, it's only until the end phase, so there's that. That'll go away once he passes his turn, or if he has anything else planned for me here. I guess he's still deciding whether or not he should. Okay, cool. So he did prove that he has a lot, and I mean a lot of hand traps left in hand. So what we're going to do is we're just going to try and bait it out. So we'll change this guy to attack position because he is a lot larger than the Starving Venom here. We'll detach the other Murakumo, and we'll see what happens here. Okay, they're using the Baldrake. I'm assuming to get rid of the Murakumo permanently. But we do have the Mitsurugi Mirror, which allows us to banish stuff that is, or rather, which allows us to recycle stuff that is banished. So there's that. They're getting rid of the Habakiri, which is an interesting choice, but a choice nonetheless. We still have one more copy of Habakiri in deck, so this could get us to it. And there we go. We can do our thing without having to normal summon. So we'll get Cupsy, the main deck version. So Cupsy does do your thing, and now we get Surprise. There we go. Okay. Now I believe we just normal summon this one and then go from there. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Normal summon that. You're probably wondering why I'm doing it like this. It's because I needed to get into my Link 1. It's been the problem since I started this entire duel, but I think we're doing fine-ish. So there's that. And I believe the field spell also recycles stuff. Yep. Yeah, that's also why. Okay, sure. Target it. Okay, sure. Tribute 1. I'm assuming you're going to tribute Starving Venom, and I'm also safe to assume that you're going to banish the Link 1 here. Oh no. We can just quick synchro. Sure, we'll just quick synchro. And avoid that removal altogether. So there's that. So there we go. We'll quick synchro. We could do that. But I think I'll just get Lollipo. Or we can get Cookie and not use its effect. We're just going to try to kill my opponent this turn. Yeah, we'll just use Lollipo. 1 and a 2. And because Lollipo will bring the monsters back anyway, so it's going to be fine. We'll get Lollipo in attack mode because we can. Then Snatchy, we'll place this there. There we go. And then Lollipo will do your thing. And then that will allow us to summon the Marshmallow, and the Cupsy doesn't have attack. That one doesn't have attack, so we'll get Cookie down because we can. There we go. This doesn't activate any effects, unfortunately. So they're going to have to be content with what they see here. Baldrake is the one that sends, I believe. No, it does not. I think it was Druis Worm. Yeah, it was Druis Worm. So we'll use... do we even have enough attack? We'll use the lowest one. We'll use Marshmallow to attack into the Baldrake. And then we'll use everyone else to just attack. I don't know if this is 8,000, but if we're lacking in numbers, then I am so sorry. I don't do math around here. Math is also for attackers, apparently. But apparently it's more than enough. So, yeah. Good duel to be back on. Let's move on to the next one. The die rolls, so I'm going first. Let's see what kind of... Oh my god! Saji, this is nearly the same exact hand like as the previous game. Like, why? Why even? I think at the very least, we can use pre-prep to try and bait out the negation. So we're gonna see. Okay, my opponent's smarter than that. Mitsurugi Mirror, then the one of 2 copies of Habakiri. There we go. I think at this point we don't even need to use a Saji. So we'll use Mitsurugi Mirror. This should tell my opponent what kind of bullshit I'm on. Or rather, what's in my hand. So we get Murakumo down. Then this should allow us to search the Mitsurugi Ritual. Or I think at the very least, Saji is going to be the one to do that. No, actually, because if we do that, why? You're forcing that? Okay, sure. That's fine? Question mark. This was properly special summoned, right? Huh. Sure. Don't know why you would do it that way, but okay. Sure. This only ritual summons from hand or deck. Great. I guess we still get it in spite of everything. So there's that. We normal summon Saji. We'll get the other Habakiri because we can. There we go. Then, oh wait, no, we can't even get the Habakiri. All right, because Saji only gets a spell. Great. Ritual summon from deck. That will allow us to tribute off the Murakumo. Yeah. Sure. That's fine by me. Because I forgot that we have the other Habakiri in deck already. So there's that. Tribute off the Murakumo because it was properly ritual summoned anyway, so that's going to be fine. Okay. Then we have chain links here. We can use mirror to get it shuffled back into the deck. But first we're gonna Murakumo chain 1, then the mirror chain 2. So that just goes back in the deck. Okay. Prayers. We have 2 copies of prayers in hand, which is, well, it's fine, but again, could have been better. Yeah, we just add the mirror again. This thing is once per turn, but hey, that's fine. Now we have the Murakumo back. Then zombie vampire. There we go. We'll not make the same mistake again. This time I should just use it for its intended use of putting it in an extra monster zone and then converting it into gravity controller. So we'll detach the Murakumo. I believe that is my opponent's only interaction. What do they have? Oh, we're facing off against Blue Eyes, and they have Fusion freaking Substitute. Jesus Christ, you don't have to dig that deep. Come on, opponent. So we special summon Cupsy. There we go. Then Cupsy effect. We'll get surprise, surprise. There we go. And then, yeah, you guys have probably seen this portion of the combo so many times before. So we put gravity controller here, but I'm just going to keep this in for posterity's sake so that you guys can see what kind of bullshit this deck is still on, in spite, you know, the slight, you know, slap on the wrist that it got. It was indeed just a slap on the wrist. So, you shouldn't really be too worried about this deck. There we go. Okay, then we got Cupsy Yummy. There we go, the extra deck version. Okay, then we get Marshmallow, and the other name that we're lacking is Lollipo, but I believe the other one was sent to the graveyard. Yep. So we'll just get the other ones that are missing. There we go. And then discard the Marshmallow. There we go. And then we need access to the field spell, but first we're going to special summon before we go into anything else. Do we shuffle something into the deck? I don't think so. That's going to allow them to have starters, so we're going to save that until much later. For now, we're going to use Lollipo to convert it into Snatchy, and then Snatchy effect. There we go. We're not going to use any other effects. We're going to get Mignon. And then now we do the thing. First, there we go. We're going to revive, I believe. Excuse me. No, actually, we'll revive it later. Because we can use Yummy Surprise to recycle it. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do it that way. There we go. There we go. And then, target, I don't know, we'll put, I probably shouldn't have clicked that because I was clicking too far ahead. But, there we go. And then, I guess we just jump straight into it, rather than... Actually, no. It's still actually good to do it like this, because it allows me to have a quick synchro on my opponent's turn so that I can just get into this. So, there's that. So, this into this. There we go. And it also allows us to get into a very weird line that isn't normally available. So there's that. So we get Shamisen, Sorokat here. Return the Cup C. There we go. And then we put Sorokat here. And then we link these two off for IP Mascarena. Actually, no, not yet. So it needs two non-link monsters. Shit. Actually, no, we're still fine. I forgot that this was the thing. We got Saji and Herald of the Arclight. There we go. And we got Mascarena down. There we go. Still pretty goddamn good. Then we said prayers and surprise. And there we go. It doesn't look scary, but trust me, this is more than enough interaction. So, we're going to use surprise either as a removal tool or as a way to, you know, this only needs light beasts, but sadly Sorokat is not a light beast, so there's that. Okay, Maiden is not nothing, but we're going to do this now so that we have it on hand. Or rather, I think I should have saved it, now that I think about it. I think this was a little too early, but I think we're fine. I think we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. This is just a negate. We're not going to use the effect, unfortunately. Again, I'm already like screwing this up so goddamn hard. I probably should have waited. But this is a negate, well, quote unquote. Now, what we should do is wait. And there we go. We're going to use... Actually, we're going to negate it first. Well, try to negate. And then use surprise. There we go. We're going to special summon. There we go. We can't attack directly this turn, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. There we go. And we'll get Marshmallow so that we can recycle my my surprise here. Okay, we somehow managed to save it, but that was really sloppy play from me. I should have saved up prayers until much later down the line where they had more monsters on board, but I guess my train of thought was I could use the negate like in a point like this where my opponent is clearly struggling-ish, but I don't know the contents of their hand, so I guess we'll find out soon enough if we're doing the right thing. Okay, cool. They're going to let that pass through. They did negate in Effect Veiler, so that tells me that they either have more interaction in hand or they have what they need in hand already. So there is that, and we'll use Marshmallow here to recycle the Let me surprise. There we go. And then we now have a quick synchro during my opponent's turn. So that's going to be interesting. We already used the negate for this thing, so that is not nothing. So there's that. We'll use this now. We'll get Dynamundo. There we go. We get Dynamundo. There we go. I don't know why it didn't allow me to do the thing here. Target a card on the field and a ritual monster in the graveyard. Shuffle both into the deck. Hey, what do you know? We'll shuffle that back in. And we'll shuffle in one of the Habakiris. There we go. And then we can even revive the Murakumo again, but I think we'll be fine here. It is my opponent's main phase, so I don't know why it's not allowing me to synchro here, but I guess it is in my extra deck, so I don't know why it's not allowing me to synchro summon here, but we'll see. Okay, Spirit with Eyes of Blue, that is fine. I guess I should turn on priority, question mark? Okay, it's still not allowing me, but okay, we tribute this off because we can. So Dynamundo will get Murakumo back. I guess we quick synchro using this. Yeah, we quick synchro using this. Is this the one that's going to allow me to quick synchro? No, it still does not. Alright, cool. Still not what I thought it would be. So that is sad. But this proves to my opponent that I no longer have anything left to do. Again, I am screwing this up so hard because I am very, very rusty. Just 2 weeks of not playing, eh? There is that. All right. So now my opponent can very safely pop off because I don't know why Sorokat doesn't quick synchro during my opponent's turn, but oh wait, no, we can blow up the board here. And we can search two things, but that's fine. I guess we get these two. We'll get Marshmallow much later down the line, but yeah, there you go. Opponent, do your thing. We'll discard that because we barely have any time left. So there's that. It's Murakumo blows up the board, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. But they don't have True Light, so they'll need to search that one again. Okay, Roar is fine. Again, I definitely could have played this so much better because I haven't been playing for 2 weeks. But I'm getting back into the groove of things. So hopefully, future videos, I'll really be back into the groove of things. But for now, we'll just let the misplace stay. There we go. Okay, opponent is going through the usual stuff. I'm safe to assume that, okay, destroy all monsters. That is fine by me. I don't know why Sorokat didn't trigger during the chains, but sometimes that's just how it goes. If that was the case, then I probably should have synchroned it on my turn if it wasn't going to trigger. Wait, do I not have the oh, I've been blind the whole time. It was in my graveyard. No wonder I couldn't synchro into it. So there's that. There we go. No wonder I couldn't synchro because it wasn't in my extra deck. There we go. Good thing I realized. Well, better late than never at least. So, my opponent could potentially kill me here, but we shall see. And, yeah, I think we could cut it here until something else more interesting happens because my opponent will very clearly go into something, but I don't know what it is. He could just synchro this off. There we go. Yeah, he's going to synchro it off and then end on just, yeah, Blue Eye Spirit and then attack from there because he barely has any resources while I have a bunch. So I'll just cut to a part that's going to be more interesting, or if my opponent has no more recovery, we'll just go on to the next duel. The one thing I'm really thankful for is that nobody stops at activate Habakiri in hand anymore, so that's a good thing. But sadly, pre-preparation of rights here is a very dead card. Oh my god. And I just realized we are not going first, so up against a Blue Eyes opponent, and I ultimately lost the previous duel, by the way, because, well, I couldn't draw a monster to save my life, unfortunately. I was working with whatever was on my field, and ultimately my opponent managed to get around it. And they activated the Max C there for no apparent reason, because I literally have nothing, opponent. You just wasted the resource that you could have used back on my turn. So, yeah. Opponent's gonna combo off, and we'll be right back when it's my turn. Okay, we're at the start of my turn, and my opponent just ended on this. And one hand trap. One measly card in hand. I'm not sure how to tell it to you, opponent, but we could actually try for Habakiri effect first. See if that gets something. Okay, Saji. Opponent, again, if you have nothing, then you are probably dying, question mark? I mean, you never know what's in people's hands. They discarded Ultimate Fusion for some reason. Okay, sure. We get Prayers. Then we use Ritual, get Murakumo down. Again, I have no idea what it is my opponent is on, but we'll find out soon enough. Question mark. So we get Murakumo down. We'll wipe away their board because we can. Chain 1 Habakiri to search. Then chain 2 Murakumo to wipe the field. Again, whatever it is my opponent is on, we're gonna see. We get another copy of Prayers. And then we use Mirror because we literally had the entire Mitsurugi part of the deck in hand already. Oh my god. I just wish all my duels ran this smoothly. But watch me fuck it up because that's just how I am. Okay. So Murakumo. We'll add the other Habakiri because we can. And then do we special summon Murakumo? Of course we will. But since we don't have any extra bodies on board, we're gonna go through the line the old-fashioned way, the standard line, as most people call it. There we go. So zombie vampire, and then I don't know what my opponent is waiting on, but I guess he just wants me to kill him. So there is that, and I will provide. So zombie vampire, mill a bunch, special summon a monster. What in the actual fuck? What were you trying, opponent? What the hell were you trying? Oh my god. So we special summon that. Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to shuffle in the Slifer the Sky Dragon back into your deck. Because I can. Okay. So we'll get Gravity Controller. Okay, and excuse me. Oh my god. Gravity Controller, and then we get Cupsy Yummy Way. There we go. We're gonna try to kill my opponent here, but I believe prayers doesn't allow. Yeah, cannot attack directly. So we can't use prayers here to try and kill my opponent. So everything will have to come from the yummy monsters themselves. So there we go. Then we discard Marshmallow. There we go. And then Cupsy effect. We'll get Surprise. There we go. Get Surprise. Okay. And then convert Cupsy into Snatchy. Then Snatchy effect. Get... Oh! Mignon was milled. Great. Okay. No wonder we were not doing so hot. Okay. So Mignon. We'll shuffle back these two in because we can. Okay. There we go. Get those. And then okay. This is a pickle. So we get Surprise down. We'll special summon Marshmallow. Get the Surprise back. I did not notice that Mignon was already was milled over. So this is going to be a screw up of the century. Okay. So can we make Sorokat? Okay, yes we can. We'll make Sorokat. And because we don't have any more bodies left in the graveyard, we can do this. There we go. And then, there we go. And then, what else can we do? We can make SP, so there is that. Leave my opponent with literally nothing. Then we just use Surprise much later down the line, or we can just use Murakumo. Yeah, we can do that. We'll just get these two down. There we go. SP Little Knight. We'll banish away the field spell because that's usually just a one-of. There we go. I told you guys, I will eventually screw this up. Then move to combat. She can't attack directly because she used her banish effect. And then, Samsara Sorokat. We're gonna put Cupsy back into the extra deck. There we go. And then do that. And then we will set, and set. There we go. Put the Fear of God in my opponent a little. And on standby phase, we're going to activate Surprise. We're going to quick synchro into the Herald of the Arclight immediately once my opponent does something here. There we go. And hopefully we'll do it right this time because I know for a fact that Herald is in the extra deck. There we go. Alright. We'll do it right this time. So we'll put Surprise back into hand. There we go. And thankfully you only really need one of this because good god it's a UR. Okay. So opponent is going to be shaking their boots a little because they only have 2 cards in hand, and whatever the hell this is, I believe it's for. If this is for a Primite, for the Primite engine, then so be it. But otherwise, you could do much better than these opponents. So we get Herald of the Arclight out because we can, and there we go. We are fully insulated against everything. Well, about as much as the game allows us to. So there is that. We have a negate and we have a pseudo board wipe. So there is that. Let's see if my opponent still has stuff to say about this. And also, this shuts off access to their graveyard, which Blue Eyes desperately needs because a lot of their stuff goes into and out of the graveyard. So we're going to find out soon enough if that will be if this will be enough to shut them down. And they don't know what the other card is. They do know that I searched 2 copies of prayers, so they're banking on the fact that I have 2 copies of prayers that I don't know what to do with. So there's that. Little do they know it's actually cross-out designator. So there is that. All right, cool. So prayers. We're going to. No, I'm not going to tribute. We're going to use special summon Murakumo. Yes, because he was special summoned properly. So there's that, and that will allow him to come back. There you go. I don't know if we can still. Yeah. Oh God. So this is 32, 32. This is only 64, unfortunately. What can we do around these parts? Can go into Dynamondo. But I believe this is the better option. So surprise. There we go. Then we can. Yeah, we're going to swap out the field spells. Yeah, because we can now at this point. There we go. And that does leave us with a monster in the graveyard, and I don't know if that'll be enough. We'll find out soon enough. There we go. And I'm not mathing this, so we'll see if this is going to be enough. Okay, we'll add the surprise back to hand. There we go. I believe the other field spell is not going to do much. Alright, cool. Let's see if this mats out. So 600. Again, it's a negate that we are ready for. This is 64. I don't know if this is enough. We'll find out soon enough. And we cannot attack directly. Great. Miscalculated yet again. But I believe if my opponent doesn't have anything else to do here, they are very, very dead. We can't exactly go into the Dynamondo line, but we do have a singular negate on board, and we have an Ash Blossom, so... and we also have a Book of Moon on demand, because Cookie, the extra deck Cookie, is... we have access to it as well, and yeah, I don't fear death at this point, because... I have Herald of the Arclight that will negate whatever it is my opponent's going to try to do, so we'll find out soon enough if that will be the case. But yeah, I did not do the math, but that was apparently those 3 attacks is 4,000 damage. So if I did manage to get in with these 2 monsters here, then they are definitely dead. And opponent's just giving up here, and we will take this duel. And we're actually gonna cut it here. I have other projects that I need to catch up on because of my 2 weeks of absence, and yeah, this deck still feels good to pilot in spite Habakiri having only a light tap on the wrist, because you know, they still want Mitsurugi to exist somehow in this broken ass game. But if you guys like what you saw and you want to see more, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share this among your friends. And until next time, toodles.